A question I get asked a lot is, what is the difference between a consumer-grade air quality monitor, so a monitor for your home, and a building-grade or commercial indoor air quality monitor? Because it sounds like they might be very similar, but in fact, these two types of devices are actually really, really different, despite fundamentally supposedly doing the same thing. So I thought I would share some thoughts on this. So a monitor which is supposed to measure the air quality at your home has a few jobs. Number one, it needs to, of course, measure air quality, so give you accurate readings for the air quality in your home. On top of that, it should be easy to use, it should be portable, right? So it's really, really valuable to be able to walk around your home with a monitor, which means that it needs to have a battery, it needs to have a screen so that you can look at it and put it outside, bring it indoors, put it in the kitchen, put it in the bedroom. There's a lot of value in being able to track these changes around your house and will really let you understand what's going on indoors. It should probably also have an app which is easy to use and hopefully some sort of connectivity, right? So maybe it connects to HomeKit, maybe Google Home, Amazon Alexa, so that you can ask Alexa what your air quality is. Maybe you can automatically turn on an air purifier if you are cooking and particulates are detected. So that's sort of the fundamental job for a consumer air quality monitor. A monitor which is designed for commercial spaces or buildings is very different. Fundamentally, it has the same job, which is to measure indoor air quality, but I would say sort of out of the whole pie of being a good commercial monitor, measuring air accurately is actually a pretty small slice of it. So what are all the other slices, and why do they matter so much? I think number one is it needs to last for a long time, right? So unfortunately, in the consumer world, there is sort of this expectation that after 3, 4, maybe 5 years, a device is going to be replaced. There will be new technology, and so these devices are not made to last 10, 15 plus years. In a commercial building, that's very different. When we're installing devices inside a commercial building, no one's planning to go and replace the entire thing in 3 years. And that would be extremely expensive to do. So making sure that these devices can be maintained, and they can be maintained and retain a high degree of accuracy, so they can be recalibrated, is critical. If there's no way to keep a device within its technical specifications and calibrated, you have a big problem. Especially if this device is being used to control the ventilation and the HVAC inside the building, right? So that's kind of one piece. Also, it needs to be relatively easy to install the device without all sorts of new wiring and all sorts of new connectivity, because that can be extremely expensive. Next up is security, and this is critical. Of course, security in a consumer monitor is also important, but in a building it matters so much more, because this device could be connected to your local building management system, which might be tied into the security systems. It might be tied into, of course, the ventilation for the whole building. And so security here has a lot more complex implications than it does on a consumer device. Just as an example, most commercial monitors would probably go through some sort of annual security testing, third-party penetration tests. That's not really the case on most consumer-grade devices. If you buy a device on Amazon, I would be extremely surprised if that company went through annual third-party penetration testing. With a commercial monitor, that should be an expectation. So you've got the maintenance aspect, the security aspect, and finally, there's a really important piece, which is communications. Now, for a consumer device, Apple HomeKit, something like that. But for a commercial device, it's really important to make sure that this device is going to be able to speak all of the languages that your building might be speaking. So for example, if it is connecting to the building management system, will it do so using BACnet or Modbus or some other protocol? And many devices out there, unfortunately, don't support all of these different protocols. So it's really important to make sure that the device that's being selected is able to operate smoothly with the rest of the building ecosystem. Because fundamentally, these devices are most likely going to be used to drive some sort of automation. They will be optimizing the amount of fresh air that's coming in to optimize for the health of the occupants, but also for energy savings. And There are actually many other small slices to this pie, but I think these are the main chunks, and I would argue actually that many of these things are more important than whether or not the device can accurately measure air quality. I think accurately measuring air quality is probably also the easiest one out of all of these to solve. So just saying, hey, this measures air quality, that ticks the box, we should put it inside our commercial building. I would definitely recommend taking a look at all of those other pieces and making sure that those boxes are ticked as well.